Hello, hi friends. So in this video we will learn how we can create the dynamic chart in JS. So let me show you one example. I have created one column and added one more column, and let's see if I add city and sales. Okay, and if we add here Mumbai and let's say sales 23, and again if I am adding one more row Delhi and let's say 34, and again Chennai, okay, 56. So let's see what exactly data will look like. You can see uh, there is a one dynamic chart which I have created when I clicked on this show chart button. Okay, and if I again show you, let me add one more row, Bangalore row, and let's say 25. And if I again click on this show chart, this chart has automatically updated. Okay, so in today's video we will learn how we can create these types of chart using JavaScript. So what we need to do, as usual, whatever we are doing in our previous video, first of all we need to create one notepad, and that notepad will have to convert into our HTML, and after that we can change the code. Okay, so let me just create one one notepad file. Okay, I am saving this notepad file in download folder. Let's say chart learning JS. Okay, now I am going to my JS folder, and here just I am changing into the dynamic chart by changing this file extension as the HTML. And now I am just closing from this one, and let's see if I open this in my Chrome browser. So it is showing me like this. I am closing this chart. Okay, so now let's see. First of all we will just create our boilerplate code. So our boilerplate code would be header like this one. These are our boilerplate code. Okay, let me see. Chart training. Okay, so chart training title code training is not here changing. Okay, let me just wait. Let me copy this code and close this file, and again reopen this file with edit with this notepad, and let me copy this code. And if I again just refresh this HTML page, so now this is changing, right? So means our code is reflecting whatever we are changing into this notepad file. Okay, so now I am going to add one body here. Now we need two library to reflect our chart correctly into this in this HTML file. So there are two libraries. You can just type it using this screen, but now we are using the basic chart library which is already in inbuilt are in JS CDN package. Okay, in this link you will get multiple types of libraries. So chart is that one of the library of this jsdeliver.net. This is very amazing website, you should go through, and there are multiple projects in this CDN jsdelivery.net. Based on this chart class you can create a multiple things, and you can visualize and analyze the data very efficiently, and you can give the benefit to your companies or to your business. It's depend up to you. Okay, so now this link is necessary to reflect the chart on HTML body, because this is fetching the class from JS library and adding into this HTML tables. Okay, so first of all we need to create one dynamic table here. So for that we need three buttons. Okay, so first button is that this one, Let's see, we need add row button. Okay, so once we click on this button, this will automatically call to our add row function. Okay, and button name is this one. I am copying this code. Sorry, I am just writing here add the row. And add column. And again I am creating one more thing, I think show chart. Okay, that we will add later. Okay, it's not a big deal. So now let me create one blank table here, and let me give id to this table, my table, so we can fetch it in our JavaScript. So I have add row, add column. Okay, and I am just writing JavaScript code below this one, body. So now let's first of all check how this looks. Okay, it looks fine. And for HTML table I am just adding. Okay, let me create one CSS code also here. So in my CSS code, this is the ID table, right? So ID always should be in hash in CSS, and TD should be border one being solid black. Okay, that's all. Now what we can do now, this is the blank table. So we need to add dynamically rows and column. For that, what we need to do here, there is one script function here. So I am calling this add row function, add row. Okay, let's see if this function is calling or not. Sorry, we should start with add column, I think. So check, let me check it's calling this function or not, or is there any browser issues. No, it's calling, right? Correct. So now the thing is that the table is blank, so we should add some value whenever if the table find blank. Okay, then we should add some value in that table. After that we can fetch the rows position and column position, because in blank table you cannot fetch the rows and column position without any value. Okay, so what we can do here, we'll create this table variable as a global variable. Sorry, JavaScript is very case sensitive language. Okay, so now in this table we need to first of all we'll have to figure it out whether this table is blank or not. So how we can figure it out? I'm just adding here if my table, right? So let length, table length. Okay, so if table length, how we can find table dot rows dot length, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's see what exactly table length is showing. It's 0. Okay, so now we can we have successfully fetched the table length. Okay, using this my table dot row. This is the inbuilt property of table in JavaScript. So now what we need to do, if the table is blank, then we need to add one header and one row, because table containing header and rows, right? Okay, a is equal to 0, then Okay, so we need to add the table header first, but before header we need row which contain that header, right? So we will use a insert row function here. Okay, so let row my table dot insert row. Okay, and after that we need to create header element, right? So how we can create header element here? Th, okay, th called as a table header. So document dot create element th, and that th should be editable, so we'll use content editable should be true. Okay, and I'm not assigning any value, but this is the header, right? So we need to assign some text content here. Text content is equal to column 1 because this should be the by default one, right? And after that this header I will append into this row whatever we have inserted here. Append child th. So this row will create a row in this table. Okay, and under this row we have added this header. Okay, let's see how this looks. And also we need okay, first of all let's try this one. After that we will add one more row. Okay, it is adding one header, right? Now we need one row because you will not able to add a remaining row, okay, because the work is pending. So now we need one more row. So what we can do here, again we will add one more row here. I am just putting second row my table dot insert cell, and I am just putting here under this second row we will add one cell here, right? So how we can add cell here? Second row dot insert cell, and I'm just adding one single row, and this cell should be editable. Content editable is equal to true. Okay, so this function will work whenever the table is completely blank. Okay, let's see how this look like if I click in add column. Okay, so this way we can create the rows and column in our blank row in our blank tables, right? So I am just adding in separate function blank table data add. So I am just copying this entire function in this code. Okay, and I am just putting if table length is completely blank, then this function will call. You can call this is the callback procedure. Okay, it doesn't matter as soon as your work is getting completed. Okay, so it's working. So whenever the blank table will come, we will call this function. Okay, now what if your table is not blank? So we need to add one more column beside this column. So our second column will be the column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, like this way. So now for doing this thing we can do one thing here. Okay, we will use else condition. If table is not blank, then we will use for loop. Let I is equal to 0 to I less than my table dot rows dot length, okay, and I plus plus here. Okay, so this is just the total length of table rows like we saw in our this functions my table dot total rows. Okay, this one. So now I should directly take this one rather than again just creating complications. Okay, table length. Now we will again add header and cells, okay, after this row. Okay, and and if the row will add, so our condition is to add or insert the row beside this cells. Okay, so for that we need the total table of length. So my table dot rows, first of all I think I table dot add. Okay, after the if it is a first row, right, then this will convert into the column and remaining should be the blank cells. Okay, for that we will again use if condition. If first row is a header, in index first row start with the 0. Okay, if 0, then again we will create one elements like this way, editable content. Okay, column and plus here we'll add here I. Okay, I1 I2 I3 like this way under this for loop. Okay, and if this incremental I, okay, if it is 0, then we will add here header, and this is okay, good, th insert create element, and this we will add again I means 0 value dot append child th. Okay, so this will this way this iterator. Okay, this iterator, if this iterator is 0, then this th element we will add into this first row, which is column 1, and if it is not, okay, then we can just simply, okay, first of all let's check whether this is working or not. It is calling both the row together. Why? I have double click, let me check here. Column 0, why it is showing column 0? Because table dot total column cells length, table dot length plus 1. Okay, or my table dot rows, I think I should put here 0 because we are counting the first header. Okay, let's check now. Why it is showing undefined? Let me check here. Column my table dot rows is equal to, what is the total table of these rows? This showing undefined. Okay, because it's not reading this I0. So I am just singly put here table dot length dot toString. Now just let's try. Now it is showing column 2, but the table length is not updating. I know why, because it's got stuck when I added here. Table dot length is stuck. Okay, let it be. Currently we need just two column. After that we will see how to fix this one. Okay, column 2, but we need, whenever we add one more column, then this should be the column 3, right? So for that, it is adding again table dot length dot row. It is just picking the two columns. This way, let's see. Okay, this will also not work, because I think this length is not updating whenever we are adding this column. So what we can do here, again I will put here th, and let's now call this time. Okay, we will figure out this thing later. Let me just focus on the remaining thing. How we can add here incrementally. This row, this you will see later. Now my table is column 1 and 2. Okay, so if it is not first row, then go to the now add the remaining cells, right? Now it is not adding the remaining cells. So here what we can do, else so my table dot rows, let row is equal to, okay, and I am just copying this variable here, so don't need to create again this lengthy code. So row dot, so let's cell, okay, row dot insert cell -1, so it will add the cell from the right side, means from the end. Okay, and I think cell dot content editable is equal to true. Now let's see. Okay, it is adding the row, right? Sorry, column. So now how we can add the row? It's the same thing, but the logic little bit different. Currently we are working just on two columns. In next video we will see how we can incrementally add this number. Let me just check one thing here. Zero. Okay, it is by default counting as a 0. That's why this problem is creating here. So what we can do, row dot cells dot length, so now this incrementally adding here the column thing. So here I am just removing this header, this alert box. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so it is adding like this way. So I will put here +1. Okay, so now we can incrementally give this 1 2 3 4 5 number by using the row.sales.count, because in one row we will get the number of sales count, because based on that sales width we can define the column name. Now this add column functionality done. Now just work on this add row functionality, right? So our first condition would be the same. If the table is blank, okay, then it will by default add the header and sales. Okay, now we need to add one more row below this sales, right? So how we can add here? It's again the same logic. We should take this my table. Okay, let's say let cell my table dot insert row. Okay, and under that row cell should be editable. Then okay, first of all see the row is adding or not. Okay, so let's say I have added one column, and if I click on add row, it is not adding one row, right? Why? Let's see. Else okay, my table dot insert row, and if it is sales is not adding. Okay, under that cell we need to add sorry, my table dot insert row. Okay, let's check why it is not working. Okay, under this cell we need to also add one sales, right? Okay, because without sales it will not show any data here. So I will put here row insert cell and cell content should be editable. And if I add the second one, third one, but it is just adding one single cell. We need the all cells of particular columns, particular headers, right? So if we have 3 headers, then in one row there should be 3 cells. So how we can achieve this? For that we need to fetch the total count of cells of headers, right? So I have added this row. Okay, under this row, okay, now we need to add total we need to add total number of cells. For that we need the cells count. Okay, less than rows. I am just putting the first row dot cells dot length. This should be, because this is the indexing length. Cell dot content level cells row dot insert cells. Okay, now let's see this this loop will run until the end of the cells of particular rows. So if I add column, okay, so now we have dynamically add this rows and column table. Okay, now let's work on chat. Okay, how we can create the chat? For that we will create one button here, canvas button here. On click, show chat. And we need one canvas functionality here. Need to assign one ID to fetch in JavaScript. We need to decide height and width. $150 pixel. Okay, so now we have created this show chat button. So now we'll have to call this canvas functionality. For that, what we can do here, we need to create one Java function, show chat. Okay, chat containing two things, label and numbers. Okay, so we need two variables, two list variables. Let's see, values and labels. Okay, we need to add the data in these labels and values. Okay, how we can add? So whatever you will type under this table, that will add into this values and label. So for that, let's show like this way. We need the total table length, also total length of the row. So for we will start from the second row. That's why I'm putting here the one. This is the indexing one. Okay, and my table dot rows dot length. Okay, hope so you know this concept of let variable. It's the block variable, so don't need to worry about why I am using the I again and again, because it is very simple for me to remember. That's why. Okay, nothing else. And I is equal to 1. I is my table dot length. Now we need to fetch the first row. Okay, first column cells and second column cells. Okay, so first column cells will be a label and second would be our value. So and we will store into this variable using the push function, push property in this list variable. So labels dot push and my table dot rows is equal to I dot cells 0. I can put a text content, and same way I will copy and I will fetch the second column of same rows. Okay, but this I need in numbers. Second means 1, sorry. Yeah, now print this one and let's see what exactly value will show here. Console.log labels and values. And I am just using this inspect element to see what exactly data is printing here. Okay, So I am adding column here, let's say city, or let's say branch, adding one more column sales, let's say 34, adding one more row Delhi 24, and if I click on this show chat, it is showing Mumbai, Delhi and 3424 in list format, right? So now we have created the data in array format, JSON format or object format, whatever you will tell, but we need this kind of data, okay, list data, to add the data in a show chart, sorry, in simple chart. Okay, this done. So now we will call this chart class function properties. So let's say I have variable, let me create one global. First of all, let me show you what if you create directly this, if you directly call this new chart. Okay, this is the functionality new chart. Under this new chat, okay, we need this canvas HTML element. So how you can call here, my chart is equal to this. You will have to remember little bit, because in canvas you need to get the context of this canvas. So this context, so we fetched the context of this canvas, which is in 2D format, okay, this one, and this HTML element we will pass in this chat. Remaining property divided into the three main part in this chart class. Okay, first of all, it's divided into the type. After that, it's divided into the data, means it's containing label, data set, all, and option means it's containing the grid formatting and these things. Okay, so we will first of all do the simple thing here, responsive true. So chart will be responsive whenever you will hover, or whenever you move the chart cursor from one to another, and it will give you the grid formatting things responsive way, in a responsive way you will see. Okay, here now we need the type. So just define here, if you need bar chart, line chart, bar chart, depend up to you. Now data, okay, data contains three properties which should be in array format. So first is the labels, okay, labels containing this labels value, which we store the value in text format. Second is the data sets, okay, data sets again containing the data in list format. In this data set again we need to pass this curly bracket, this array bracket, okay, this is counting as a each row. Okay, so in this data set you can assume that this is the entire column of the measures. Okay, so in one column it's contain the label, right? Data means that label values. Okay, let's pass first of all this thing. So label, I am just putting this data value as a sales, and in that label we will add here our values. Okay, this values 3424, and these labels contain this Mumbai, Delhi, whatever we will type here. All the things are done here. Let's see. When I click again add column, okay, there is some error here, unexpected token syntax error. Okay, I think this is the error. So if I again refresh, so column, let's say Mumbai, sorry, branch says I am just putting Mumbai 20. Let's see how this show chart will look like. It is showing the data, okay, but why it is not showing the bar chart? That is the question. Let's see. Sales values text containing zero value, labels, and here, sorry, I should put here values, not the label. Label is the text value, right? So now again just call this function add column by 2010 whatever. So now it is showing this chart, okay. Now what else? You can change the background color as well. Let's say I will put here yellow or green. Also you can add one more thing here, background green color you can put here white, okay, or let it be, it doesn't require because this is just formatting thing, or else okay, that's all. So if I just click on again the add column, something is wrong again. There is some syntax issues here, sorry, I should remove this semicolon again. Okay, column 1. So I'm just showing you the full demo here. Branch sales Mumbai 20, Delhi 24, and if you click on show chart, and reference is not defined, what exactly error is coming, let's see. Oh sorry, I should add here in single quotation this green. Branch Mumbai column I am adding here sales 20 show chat, it is showing the data. And if you again add the one more row here, Delhi 10, now this will not work. Why? Because we have not defined any variable to again replace or renew this chat data, okay, or this function or this library. So we'll have to delete previous and we'll have to add again the new table, okay. For that we need to assign one variable, okay. So here I am just putting one global variable here, let chart data store, putting null. So this will give you the null value first, okay. And we give one functionality, if it's containing some value then that means it's true, and what will happen, this will destroy this thing. And again we can assign the new chart variable here. Destroy spelling is correct, right? Okay, I am adding one more column here. Let's say Mumbai 1 2 show chat, it is showing chat, adding one more row. And if I again show chat, then it is showing the second one as well, right? Okay, so now this has done. Now what else is pending? So now what if you need the 3 bar chart, okay, that we will see later. But now let's see if I want in line chart, right? So you can do using this, just change type as a line, that's all. You can dynamically do that, but it's your practice to do these tasks. branch, sales, Mumbai 20. You can see it is showing in line chart. Same way you can show the pie chart and all these things. It's up to you. Now what else is now the what exactly second thing is pending. Now what is if you want to revenue in this chart as well, and if you want to show the two measures or two columns like sales and revenue both, then how will you do that? It's very simple. Okay, you just copy this data set functionality again, put here revenue. Okay, and I am just putting here value 2, just putting here revenue. Okay, that's all. Putting here one comma. So just copy paste this 3 row and just paste below this data set, under this data set, and just create this revenue list variable. That's all. Then how will you create? Just apply here revenue variable and copy paste this thing. Make sure your revenue column should be in third position in table. So this should be the second one. Okay, so if I again refresh the column, I will add 3 column here. One is the city, sales, revenue, Mumbai 24, and if I click on show chart, it is showing me 2. Okay, if I again add the row, and click on show chart. Okay, so this way you can create the dynamic chart. Okay, so that's all for this video, and you can just format this button very simple using the ESS. It's a not big deal, but I am showing you again. Button, so background should be blue, color should be white, cursor should be pointer, and if you hover on this button, then butter color should be the change. Putting here black. Okay, so here I'm putting A, B. Click on show chat. I'm putting here branch or city, sales, okay, why it is not showing? Let me see what exactly error is coming here. Cannot define text content. Okay, what is the issue in this one? Let's see. Oh, this is the issue. Number, text content. Oh sorry, we should add one more column here. That's why, because we have given the 3 condition. Okay, because we have applied 2 measures code here, that's why. Okay, but you can also do this dynamically if you just understand the basic concept of this chart functionality. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching this video.